Hey Pokemon fans, AlmightyArceus here, and I know I don't usually do theory videos, but I wanted to put this one out here. So, Pokemon Sun and Pokemon Moon have been announced since last Friday, and there's been so much speculation as to what is going to be going on in these next games. I didn't really want to put out a video, that is, until I saw this image on Twitter, so check it out. It's a comparison of the Japanese logos of Pokemon X and Y and Pokemon Sun and Moon. So check it out. On the left side, you have Pokemon X and Y, and of course, in the logo, you can see that Mega Evolution symbol. We didn't know it at the time, but there was going to be Mega Evolution involved in the game. People were just speculating at first about, oh, this has something to do with DNA, or this is something to do with, X chromosomes, Y chromosomes. But then we eventually found out that that little symbol meant Mega Evolution, and it changed the game forever. So now let's look at the Pokemon Sun and Moon logos on the right. It's been pointed out that there's a little shining diamond in the same place that the Mega Evolution symbol was in Pokemon X and Y. Now, what is that significance right there? What does that diamond mean? And this post highlights something very significant, something about burst hearts. Now, burst hearts were a concept that were introduced in a relatively unpopular Pokemon manga called Pokemon Reversed, and it was an attempt to appeal to an older audience of Pokemon fans by having this concept called burst hearts. And burst hearts basically are encapsulated Pokemon within these little diamond-shaped chambers, and when you access them, you fuse with that Pokemon. Not other Pokemon fusing, you, the trainer, fuses with that Pokemon. Now, I know what you're thinking. Oh my gosh, trainers fusing with Pokemon? That sounds ridiculous, and I thought so too. But let's go through a little bit of the evidence that we have set up here. First and foremost, the comparison of the logos is a huge chunk of evidence. It's in the same exact place as the Mega Evolution symbol in Pokemon X and Y, so that little symbol has some sort of significance for Pokemon Sun and Pokemon Moon, no matter what that symbol turns out to be. Secondly, we have the evidence of Ash Greninja. Back in September, when Zygarde Core, Zygarde Perfect, all of that stuff was announced, we also got wind of Ash Greninja, which has since then made a few appearances in the anime. And everybody was talking about, oh, yeah, Ash Greninja is just going to turn out to be Mega Greninja. But everybody was also kind of thrown off because in the image itself, that Greninja had certain features of Ash, such as the puffy hair spikes that Ash has. That was on Greninja. The hat color that Ash wears was on the head of Greninja. So, what's going on there? Answer: burst hearts. Now, let me read you a little excerpt from the Pokemon website itself about Ash Greninja. Ash's Greninja takes on a mysterious new appearance in the latest season. Ash Greninja is the form that Greninja takes when the bond between it and Ash is raised to the limit. The strength of their bond changes Greninja's appearance, and it takes on the characteristic look of Ash's attire. This phenomenon is also said to have happened just once several hundred years ago in the Kalos region, but it remains shrouded in mystery. Now, if you look into the Bulbapedia page on Burst Hearts and the Pokemon Reverse series, it talks about that inherent bond. And of course, you're going to have a very strong bond with your Pokemon in order to have that sort of fusion take place, that form take place. With the power being raised to its highest limit excerpt of that, people were thinking Mega Energy, but I think this is actually going to turn out to be something related to Burst Hearts. Now, I think it won't exactly be what the Pokemon Reburst manga was, because first of all, it was unpopular, and second of all, when you look at Ash Greninja, he doesn't look like Ash in a Greninja suit. He looks like Greninja with like a few Ash features. So I'm thinking they might have something like that in the next generation. Now, the third piece of evidence that I have is Pokken Tournament. And this is something that I didn't entirely expect, but my friend brought this up to me when I was talking to them about it. And in the game, you are directly coordinated with your Pokemon's actions. You are the one making them throw the punches. And there's this little gauge that measures the synergy between you and your Pokemon. When that gauge is full, your Pokemon levels up to a new power level, essentially. For Pokemon that can Mega Evolve, they just Mega Evolve, and then they have their special burst attack, which hurts the opponent like hell. But for non-Mega Pokemon, what happens? They just get a lot of energy and they can still do that kind of burst attack. Now, notice the similarity there. The name of that is also called a burst. And you have slight form changes and power changes happening with Pokemon that have never had Mega Evolutions. In fact, with mid-stage evolutions like Braixen and Pikachu. So how is that possible? The answer, Burst Hearts. This is how this is going to happen. You'll have this burst energy, this synergy that's going on with your Pokemon, and then once you reach that in battle, you have a new power level with you. And you can see some form changes happening as well. You see Machamp turns red, and you see Pikachu has his tail start glowing, and then he starts running around and doing a volt tackle on his opponents. So I think with all three of these pieces of evidence combined, the anime, the logo, and Pokken Tournament, that we might just see burst energy happening in this upcoming game. What are your thoughts on this? I'm very interested to know, so please leave a comment in the comment section. Like this video if you enjoyed this commentary, favorite it, subscribe if you want to see more content, both remixes and more theory videos, which I'll be coming up with in the near future. I have a lot of scripts that I've been working on, so you'll be seeing a lot of content like that from me very soon. Thank you so much for watching.